Smalin Janita of Trichy, pregnant, seriously bruised and nursing a severe brain injury, was flown home to India from the United States.
Well, indications are she was allegedly beaten up by her husband, an Infosys employee in the US, and thrown out of a moving car there. She was rescued by a Pakistani doctor and sent home. Sandhya Ravishankar has that story.
23-year-old Smalin Janita signals victory after battling a grueling ordeal. 7 months pregnant with 52 fractures, in coma for more than 3 months, she was abandoned in a US hospital by her husband, an Infosys employee based there. Smalin's family alleges she was harassed for not paying dowry.
She said because the three people, Christy Daniels as her husband, Chellam mother-in-law and Lima her sister-in-law beat her in her house and drove me to the car and pushed me from the car itself.
Smalin's husband Christy Daniels denies this, saying Smalin was injured in a car accident in which he and his sister and parents were hurt as well. He claims that he had provided Smalin's contact number and address in India to the hospital as well. But Smalin's parents say they got to know only when a Pakistani doctor treating her got suspicious, found out her contact details and called them. They are now filing a police case against Janita's in-laws.
As of now, both mother and child are in stable condition at the Mehta Hospital here in Chennai. Smalin, though, is paralyzed on her left side due to the brain injuries she has suffered. But Smalin is a case in point of how dowry harassment is not limited to just the uneducated and the poor. In Chennai, Sandhya Ravishankar.
Well, the doctor who helped Smalin, Sardar Inamullah, who in fact rescued her, joining us on the phone line from North Carolina. Thanks very much for joining us here on CNN IBN. I'd like to know, at what point did you really figure out that something was wrong as far as Smalin Janita's case was concerned?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, and I want to tell you that it's an opportunity talking to you folks. Janita was actually brought to our hospital on July 31st, and she was in a very severe, almost 80%, no chances of living, state in the hospital. And initially I started helping the family when they all came to the hospital. And right after a few weeks, we figured it out that there was something wrong. Things were not lining up, and there was a lot of lies about the conditions and the insurances and all the information that we required for the treatment. And after that, I came to know that the husband has left and abandoned the wife in the hospital, and the state of North Carolina was trying to take the custody and make the decisions for Smalin and Janita.
Doctor,
And
during this period, just let's get a clarification on that. During the period while Smalin was at the hospital, did her husband and in-laws come to visit her regularly?
No, they did not. Only the husband would come for the first few weeks for 10 to 15 minutes, and then after that, they disappeared. They did not come, and when the state was trying to make a decision for Smalin and Janita, that's when we, friends of mine from India, very close friends, we have contacted Mr. Sebastian and brought him to the United States to take the custody for the daughter.
Doctor, also I'd like to know, you mentioned there are very, very serious injuries on Smalin, but what's really the nature? There are also indications coming in that perhaps she was thrown out of a moving car. Also, any of the injuries also seeming to suggest that perhaps she was beaten up?
Well, the way Smalin started talking about 2 weeks ago in the United States, before that she was not being able to talk. According to all the information, yes, the accident did occur. They were all involved into an accident. But according to Smalin, there was a fight in the car, and they were trying to push her out of the car.
Right.
And that's when the husband lost control and the car rolled over, and everybody was injured, but not as serious as Smalin and Janita.
Dr. Inamullah, one final question. You're of Pakistani origin. Smalin is an Indian. Did that factor play any role at all?
No, sir. In the United States, or at least I should speak for myself, in our heart, there is no origin, there is no culture, there is no religion.